Are Russians trying to sneak their way into Texas Democratic conventions? The party told us today that they found what appear to be fake attendee registrations that trace back to Russia.
KXAN's political reporter Phil Prazan looked into that claim.
Glenn Maxey is in charge of organizing the Texas Democrats' state and local conventions.
Good morning, Texas Democratic Party.
To attend one, Texans have been registering online, but recently some of those registrations were flagged. 24 of them had emails with IP addresses and domain names from Russia.
I don't know what they're looking for. They're just looking for any ways to get in and cause mischief.
NBC News reporter Bill Arkin took those to his espionage sources specializing in Russian interference,
who all agreed that this was in fact one of the first cases that they had seen that was tangible, indicating Russian probing of the 2018 midterms.
Maxey doesn't know if the emails truly came from Russia, but feels like the feds and the state are not taking this issue seriously and wants them to investigate.
It's important to remember that the Democratic Party, like any political party, is a private organization. A spokesperson for the Texas Secretary of State tells me they have no role in the Democratic convention process and that their public voter file hasn't had any problems.
We don't have purview. I don't think many Texans would want us having purview and telling the parties, how to run their shop.
Taylor says they are assessing their election system, but that won't include private organizations. Phil Prazan, KXAN News.
The Secretary of State's office tells us they've increased their security protocols for county elections. We reached out to the Republican Party of Texas to see if they've had similar problems. We're told the GOP does not do registration for conventions online. All attendees are verified in person from voter rolls.
And Texas Democrats don't know whether people or bots are behind the fake registrations. If it was a bot, that means a programmer used software and coding to create the fake registrations. It also could have been done by individuals or trolls. I asked a national security scholar to explain how it might have happened.
Do you think in this instance, does this seem more like the work of a bot or of a troll?
In reality, it doesn't make much of a difference, right? Because the effect is the same. The effect is to create some doubt or cast some doubt in terms of who is attending the convention or the conference, or who is attending a rally, or who is voting, or who is supporting someone. So they can do it either way. The trolls are obviously more sophisticated because there are humans behind and they can respond in better ways than a bot does. But a bot, they can program them in a way that they can also respond very close to a human, right? So they also engage in the game of sending direct messages or creating phrases that entice people to respond.
Martinez says that the Russian IP addresses could have even been a red herring, someone trying to make it look like a Russian tried to register. He says the trouble is it's very hard, sometimes impossible, to track down who's behind efforts like this.